So a little while back, I made a video talking about Phase 4 and all the issues that I had about Phase 4 Marvel, and how about recently Marvel's been pushing out way too many projects at such a short period of time, and the quality of Marvel sort of declining. There's been a bit of an uprising of people out there just speaking their voices about how Marvel just isn't the same as of lately. With that said, though, Marvel did come out in Comic Con 2022 and at Saturday night posted out multiple projects coming out. So I just wanted to take a minute and talk about my responses to all of this and how I feel about it now that a couple days have passed by and some of the hype has settled. I'll be the first to say that a lot of my concerns about Black Panther Wakanda Forever that I did mention in my previous video have sort of been lifted with the new Wakanda Forever trailer. In this trailer, I can clearly tell that Marvel is putting a lot more passion and a lot more importance to this film than they have with other projects. And it would make sense that that's the case. With the passing of Chadwick Boseman, Marvel can't pass Black Panther Wakanda Forever as just another Marvel film. Clearly, this film is a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who is no longer with us. If the film is an ounce of what this trailer has provided, then this could be the biggest hit of Phase 4 and probably the most impactful, being that this movie transcends just a simple Marvel project. It is a genuine tribute to a fallen hero. As for my other thoughts and comments about the announcements, Marvel has went forward to talk about how Black Panther Wakanda Forever would cap off Phase 4 and starting next year, Phase 5 will begin. Kevin Feige and the Marvel panel laid out everything right in front of us, showing that Phase 5 will begin with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which will also properly show and introduce King the Conqueror to all movie audiences. I'll give this movie the benefit of the doubt. I do enjoy Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, and I feel that this Ant-Man film in particular will probably be the most serious out of all of them. He might have a Thor effect where the first movie was decent, the second movie was seen as weaker than the other ones, but the third film might be the best of his trilogy. So hopefully that will be the case. If they do introduce Kang the Conqueror in a proper manner, then hopefully Kang will be hyped up as our next Thanos. Hopefully audiences will be on board of Kang as the end-all be-all villain of this multiverse saga, as Kevin Feige has set these three phases to be. They also announced Secret Invasion, which I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but I'm going to assume it has to do with the Skrulls. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is going to be directed by James Gunn, and according to James Gunn will be a sort of ending payoff of the Guardians movies. I'm going to assume that this is also going to be the end of certain characters, probably Drax, Star-Lord, Gamora. I'm sure that Disney's going to want to keep their hands on Groot, maybe Rocket, but maybe the original team is gone after this film, or this will be their last film. This is another film that I personally want to see how it ends off. Guardians of the Galaxy obviously has been around since Phase 2 and has had an immense amount of fans and love, and it would be nice to see how it all wraps up. Furthermore, they've announced Echo, which will supposedly star Charlie Cox as Daredevil. They've also announced Loki Season 2, which obviously people did enjoy the first Loki season. People do enjoy Tom Hiddleston's Loki. We'll see how that goes about. The Marvels, which will include Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau's Marvel. Other projects include Blade, which will be an interesting take as we haven't had a Blade movie in decades. Ironheart, who will have her first appearance in Wakanda Forever. Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Daredevil Born Again, which will be 18 episodes long. Captain America New World Order with Sam Wilson as Captain America. And Phase 5 will cap off with the Thunderbolts. However, even further from Phase 5, Marvel has decided to announce Phase 6. And they've only announced 3 out of the 11 projects that will be in Phase 6. Those 3 projects being that Phase 6 is going to start off with the Fantastic Four, which is set to come out November 8th, 2024, followed by a series of other projects that is set to come out. But Kevin Feige has stated that Phase 6 will cap off with 2 Avengers movies, Avengers The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, both of which will come out in 2025, The Kang Dynasty coming out May 2nd and Secret Wars coming out November 7th. All in all, Some of these projects clearly have some hype, and a lot of people are excited for what is to come. New takes on the Fantastic Four, a new take on Blade, an expansion on the lore with Secret Invasion, Secret Wars, Kang. This all seems great. And in all honesty, I do think Phase 5 is looking to be a better phase than Phase 4 in terms of hype and in terms of what is to come. I feel more people would be on board with something like Phase 5 than something like Phase 4. Phase 6 has very little projects announced so far, but of the 3 they did show off, people seem to be quite excited for those projects as well. I'm sure that at the D23 Expo, Disney will announce some other projects that are coming out of Phase 6, maybe even every project to be announced in Phase 6. However, that said, I do want to talk about my concerns now. Marvel essentially laid out their plans for the next 3 years, from 2023 to 2025. And in the next 3 years, they're going to deliver us 2 phases. Phase 5 giving us 12 projects, and Phase 6 giving us 11 projects according to the timeline. And that's not including animation. Some of these projects being TV shows at Disney Plus. My concern still remains that this is too much quantity, with the quality being questionable if this is rushing out. Many VFX artists have come out and talked about the unfair conditions Marvel has put them out in, and seeing this many projects laid out in these timelines, while it may seem to be a phenomenal time to be a Marvel fan, I also think it's quite questionable if this is really the amount of quality Marvel should be putting out. We are expecting the Infinity Saga to be crunched in 4 years. Not that anything could probably ever top Infinity War or Endgame. That took a whole decade of hype and planning and conditioning. But this is being a lot more rushed, and Phase 4 has been arguably the roughest Marvel phase. I have talked about how I do think Black Panther Wakanda Forever could save Phase 4 or give it a great payoff, but that doesn't deny how Phase 4 has been mostly rough. Me personally, I am worried, but I will give a lot of these films a shot if Phase 5 is working out to be better, and if the shows prove that you don't need to see every single show to the payoff at the end, then probably Marvel will continue to succeed beyond Phases 5 and 6. However, if Marvel keeps putting an emphasis on using shows and repeating mistakes like using Wanda in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and you needing to see WandaVision for that, or if the Loki show becomes of even more importance to the point that it actually hinders your experience of understanding future movies such as Avengers, Kang Dynasty, or Secret Wars, I don't know how fans are going to respond as we get further into Marvel. Marvel might be going into the comic book route. Too many issues to read, too little time for everyone to actually catch up with it. There's a reason why people always sell out the issue number 1, but once you get through more volumes, quality this starts to decline or the numbers start to decline.